listening to INCRadio.
Broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois. DZEM 954 AM station. Here to bring you great conversations about faith, people, places, culture, and recent events all around the district. Join us on YouTube at INCRadio.org. Hello, Northern Midwest and the rest of the world. It's time to get this show started.
Yes, it is time to get the show started. Hello, everyone. Awesome John Villacruz live here from Rockford, Illinois. Let me just back up a little bit because I am too close to the screen. Hello, and I hope you're all having a wonderful afternoon. I know it gets dark like easily nowadays. So I hope the the early, what do you call it? Early evening? Early evening isn't getting you now. But thank you for joining us in our conversation for today. And it's not just me. Joining me here are a couple of my friends here from Great Lakes. Let me start with the one with this camera open first. So for those of you who let him introduce himself, there he goes.
Whoops. I was saying maybe I should get a little closer to the camera because I can feel like taller. But just to test that out. Hi everyone, Abriel Romero from Bloomingdale, Illinois. Glad to be here with you all once again on this awesome Saturday. And it is again not just us two. Now I'm curious to see how how Tony looks on camera. Hi Tony, all the way there in Sterling Heights.
Trying to prepare myself. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Let's go take it back like 10 steps. Hello, everyone. Tony Rose Valenzuela broadcasting from Sterling Heights. Shout out to Sterling Heights. Excited to be here with my friends for our topic today. I'm very excited to talk about this topic.
Mm-hmm. As you can see, the title of our topic, A Step Towards Something New. So we're going to be talking about when the times we tried something. Yeah, so actually, recently, is there anything you guys tried? Like, it's something new that you've tried, or maybe it's not necessarily new, but it's something that you've tried before, didn't really get into it, but tried again now.
Going to the gym. Going to the gym. I never tried it before. I guess probably in high school they did strength train us. Like they showed us how to use weights and everything. But shout out to my gym buddies, Isabel Aurelio and Marco Aurelio. They're my gym buddies, and Franz Grospe. Those are my gym buddies that I go with. It's been a very interesting experience, and I'm very grateful for them because I realized that I am not that strong. So it's helpful. It's very intimidating, but it is helpful. It is helpful.
I will. Don't worry. For me, it's like I would say 10 pounds is the most I can lift right now. Like dumbbells. There's dumbbells.
That's all right.
Like 10
No
pounds is
judgment.
about I can lift as much as I can.
No judgment here, EJ.
Actually, I want to ask this follow up on that. Like how, because they say it takes like 21 days to build a habit. How many days are you in now?
We started. It's November. I think we started sometime in September, if I'm not mistaken. I think or no, maybe August. I think August is when I started, kind of feeling it out, and then I committed. I actually committed to it in September, but by actually getting the membership, I was like, okay, I need to hold myself accountable now. We've been trying to go 3 times a week. Hasn't always happened, but we've been trying. At least the minimum is 1. Just with the schedule, sometimes it's hard, but we are trying. We are trying.
As long as, I think it's good as long as you keep that consistency. But before I ask my next question, is there anything new that you're trying?
If you asked me this like 2-3 years ago, I would also say going to the gym. No worries, Tony and EJ. Over time, you're gonna get more consistent, and you're gonna develop your strength, and you'll be lifting 20-pound dumbbells in no time, for sure. But for me now, I'd say I'm venturing out more into doing more like solo travel type things.
Ooh.
Whether that's just going downtown, like exploring my own city, like downtown Chicago, for example, to I guess one example, like most recently on the trip that I took like a couple of weeks ago, was actually like the first time I like went out to like rent a vehicle. You know what I mean? Like,
Nice.
like I
Mhm.
haven't. I'd before, like I'd depend on like family, to like bring me around, and like have my own driver, so I didn't have to worry about all of that. But now, right, like this past trip, like that was actually like the first time that I did that. But it was a bit intimidating at first because you have like all the responsibility of like driving in an unfamiliar place. But
Right.
no, it turned out well. I'm glad to say.
Hey, good for you, Abe. Very nice.
So like what pushed you guys to try it? Like to try it because you said Tony like you tried it out first before you committed. Like what pushed you guys to try it?
A couple things. France, my one of my friends here in Sterling Heights, she had been doing it before with one of our other mutual friends, and I wasn't sure about it then. I was like, maybe. I would always put it off, and then it wasn't until I guess there was a real need for it because I realized it became very obvious to me at my at work that I'm not as strong as I thought I was. So I was like, I think I need to work out. So I need to, build some strength here so that I can do my job properly. And that was like the ultimate push, I think. And it is a good bonding thing too for my with my gym buddies. Like I don't get to see these people that often, so I mean, I do regularly, but like outside of the normal time that we see each other, I don't get to do that stuff. So or spend that time with them, I should say. So it's a nice bonding moment where we're encouraging each other and we get like breakfast afterwards. So that's always nice too. So those are my two ultimate, I guess, pushes for it was the need just because I couldn't do my job properly being as weak as I was, as weak as I was, and then the bonding. I like the bonding that I get out of it. So yeah.
I'd definitely say like that's a very like nice motivator to have like when you're especially I know like going to the gym is not like the easiest thing to try out like especially if you're
It's embarrassing.
yeah yeah
Embarrassing.
like
Vulnerable. Okay, I'll say vulnerable. It's very vulnerable.
I
It's
agree.
more vulnerable than embarrassing.
I've had someone I don't know I'm pretty sure you agree Abe, with this
Mhm.
that I have had someone tell me don't feel embarrassed to go to the gym because the everyone that's there they're also trying to accomplish the same goal as you.
Oh, that's true.
Definitely true.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
like
yes,
um,
go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say like at first you think that like when you're trying to like accomplish like as many reps as you can in the gym, like at a certain weight, you always feel like maybe someone's like watching you or like keeping an eye on like your like the weight of your dumbbell or like the equipment that you're like turning around every so often just to double check.
Mhm.
But no, like what you said, EJ, that everyone really is just doing their own thing, their own personal growth and improvement. So yeah, no worries, don't have any gym fears. I had them. I still kind of do, but it's much less now.
Actually, I
I
actually
did
work out at home. I don't I don't go to the gym. Well, it's not because like I'm embarrassed to be at the gym. It's just that it's just like I have equipment here at home. It just feels for me like it's a waste to go to the gym if I have I have equipment at home anyways. Like the fee would have been better used somewhere else. But yes, definitely. Just going back on what I was saying earlier, that your motivation, something that helps you to stay consistent is important. But what makes it hard for you guys to try something new? Like, what's something that would make you, d- uh, s- not double think, second guess before trying something?
I want to say like this particularly affected me with the gym example, but it's just pressure of like other people is one thing.
Mm,
That's one aspect because if the thing you're trying for the first time does affect other people. You don't want others to like see you're like a novice maybe, or like a beginner. Like there's maybe like an expectation in your head that like maybe that's something you should have known already.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes to my second factor, which is the unknown. Like, because you don't really have too many, or if it is something you are trying completely new, you don't really have any expectation of how things are going to go. So that could be something that may be discouraging someone because you don't know. And then you could create all the scenarios in your head of like things that could go wrong, and
Mm-hmm.
other factors like that. So that could be scary in itself.
That reminds me of when I was trying to learn like volleyball. I feel like because we were all like we all started at the same time like learning, but I felt like I was lagging behind like the entire team. You know, like I wasn't learning the like the moves like fast enough. You know, like everyone's already in this. You know, they're already at this level. I'm still like they're up here. I'm still like kind of like here. You know, like I felt like I was slowing them down. So I actually, I actually stopped like showing up like for practice because I felt like I may be, like I may affect the team negatively if I stay because I was taking a longer time than the rest of them to learn it. Which I would say I'm kind of regretting that. I wish I stayed. I wish I stayed consistent in learning it. But then I'm seeing you like not in agreement. Like, is there anything you want to share?
I think even as an individual, that a similar problem kind of presents itself when, let's say, you're learning a new instrument and you really wanted to learn, but you get frustrated because you feel like you can't get it, or you feel like, every time you try it, it's like, it's not getting anywhere. You don't see the progress. So that's something that can kind of make you um, not want to continue, or
Mm,
even just like on the onset of when you're thinking about trying something. Sometimes I'm going to go back to the music example, like maybe you think you need like a really expensive instrument, or like for you to be able to sound good, or to practice it well, which is not always the case, right? Like we think that we need to have these, certain things in order to start something. Like, oh, I need the right equipment. Like if you're going to the gym, I need to have, these kinds of clothes, and I need to, like all that kind of stuff, right? We think we need to have um these like prerequisites sometimes, like in order to start something new. But you just go and then it doesn't have to look perfect, right, the first time around. I feel like that idea of like what you both have said is like looking like you don't know what you're doing.
mm,
That's some of the hardest things sometimes, is because we don't want to look like that. Maybe it's an ego thing, I don't know. We don't want to look dumb, but sometimes it's okay. Like it's okay to not know what you're doing, just trying to figure it out. That's the whole part of learning, right? So
Actually, that reminded me of something that because since you brought up like music, like the music example, like when I was trying to learn how to play the organ, and I apologize to this brother because he was so nice. He was so nice when he found out that I was trying to learn, and he handed me like a bunch of like notes, like books and stuff, and he was recommending me to read them. And like I felt pressured because of it. I felt pressured because of like the excitement and like the expectation that I ended up not not stop learning to stop learning the organ because like it was the no, it was the I think you mentioned this earlier expectation. Like I felt the expectation like mounting on me. I was like, oh. I was just trying to do this like for fun now. It feels like it's a responsibility now
like a
for me to
chore, right?
yes.
Feels like a chore.
Yeah,
I
so
saw a comment from your dad actually in the live chat, EJ. He said something new that he's learned is doing like car repairs and HVAC repairs. That's pretty
yes,
cool.
yes, he did.
That's actually seriously cool. It's
Mhm.
helpful, right, to know how to do those things. I think
He
I
fixed
want to
up
be brave like that.
our AC here in the house. Actually,
Mhm.
I don't know where he learned it. He just learned. Like,
It says YouTube
mm,
University.
Teaching university. Ah,
So
okay.
so
Okay.
that makes sense, right? Like just being able to, I like I commend those who are able to kind of take it upon themselves to figure out how to fix something. Like I've had a lot of friends like that where they're just like, oh yeah, let's look it up on, you know, the internet. How can we fix this? And they're actually brave enough to do that. Like on their car, I could never, like not never, I won't say never, but I'm not that confident yet to try and do
I
that.
have tried that with my this laptop that I'm using right now because it was like slowing down really slow, and we look up like what can be causing this, and they said sometimes it's overheating because the fans like clogged with like dirt and stuff. So like the opening like the back of this laptop was not easy, but like I just looked it up. Like I looked up the model and the make of it on YouTube. I was like, okay, that's how you make it. That's how you do it. Like see, I can try new things out of necessity. Out of necessity, usually.
That's the push.
That's the push of it. But yes, lastly, just because before we move to our our next segment, I do wanna ask you guys for advice. Not just for me, maybe for someone there in our team live chat needs to hear it. Like how do you maintain consistency? Like let's say you do feel pressured with trying something. How do you feel? Uh, or how do you feel? How do you maintain? How do you maintain consistency?
I feel at least when this applied to me when like going to the gym. So maybe this could help you guys too. But it was a lot of the times a point of mind over matter. It was a lot of like doubting, like, maybe I shouldn't go today, or like things like that. Even like a simple like thought could just delay your progress. So it is a lot of the times just actually making that effort to um, go whenever you plan to go. If you are like someone who goes in the morning, like what I do, I did hear from a friend of mine who also suggested like preparing the night before, like getting all of your stuff ready to go so that in the morning you're not delaying yourself by like gathering all your things, or like even dressing up in your workout gear so that like when you wake up you're already dressed and ready to go to the gym. um, and another suggestion I would give is like, for example, if you were doing something similar to like maybe what I was doing or what I am doing, like going to new places, do your research and like ask around for other people, ask other people like what their inputs were, or like what circumstances, what problems they faced, and how like they dealt with it too. So like if there was maybe problems with like travel or something, like how to get around that. It is really important to ask around, communicate, because getting, I think, others insights too is very valuable, especially when trying something new, because then it also won't seem completely foreign in the end. You'll already have
Learn from your mistakes, but also learn from other people's
others.
mistakes. They're like, okay, you're traveling somewhere new. Okay, like avoid this. Traffic's heavy in this. Like,
Mhm.
okay.
Don't do all of these things. Here's the list. Don't do this stuff.
Exactly. But yeah, it does help to talk with others about it. Yeah, like I said, so that you're not completely like a stranger to what that experience will be. Don't worry. Like worrying's gonna like bring you down. So just look at it with a positive outlook. Like what you said, it is something new. It's a new experience. So yeah, look at it with a positive outlook too.
How about you, Tony? Like, is there like anything special that you do to maintain consistency?
Um, just kind of taking a step back and not trying to have some picture in your head of how it's supposed to look like or how it's supposed to be right away, because you'll learn a lot more through your mistakes than when it's perfect, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll learn more through like if you're going to the gym, right, you'll learn about your bad form by how you feel afterward, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way because this doesn't feel good.
My back hurts
Right.
after that.
Yeah, this doesn't feel good.
I
I
feel
mean,
that
of
was like
course.
directed to me specifically,
Really.
like
I'm sorry.
about the back. I was
I'm
like, that's
sorry.
one of the exercises that I need to correct. Like he was
The
like, oh,
finger
your back's
line.
like rounding out, and it shouldn't be. I'm like, oh,
Live for your
Yeah.
legs, right?
Yeah, and don't be afraid to for that kind of stuff to happen. Of course, be careful with yourself in that way. Like, be self aware. Having a buddy, I feel like that's kind of equivalent to what Abe mentioned. You know, like go to people that you know. Because that's the reason why I have the gym buddies that I have. Like for brother Marco, he was the one that was really guiding us and showing us, the techniques that he learned. So that's super helpful. And just having a buddy to go through it with you, so that you don't feel alone. But if it's something that you really are just doing on your own, just get out of your head. Get out of your head in the sense of what you think it's supposed to look like, or comparing yourself to other people who may have already done the thing that you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to create like some kind of art and you're like, "Oh, I wish I could be like, so and so." It's good to use them as inspiration, but of course the way that you end up from A to B is going to look very different from how they did it. And what's unique to you will be unique to you. So allow yourself to kind of to go through the experience and make those mistakes as you're trying the thing, so that you can learn more that way, as opposed to trying to get it perfect right off the bat, but then maybe you might end up learning the wrong way. Right? Like you think that like, oh yeah, this feels perfect, but then you miss like all these other things like through the process. So yeah, just let yourself, don't be afraid to look silly, I guess. Is what I'll say. I'm trying to learn to more be like that, like be vulnerable and learning from others, and yeah, all that good stuff.
Everyone looks silly in the beginning. But yes, I'm hearing a lot of like, a lot of managing your expectations, right? Asking for help, getting references, learning from your mistakes. A lot of that too, in terms of like, like trying something. And I hope if you're out there in our live chat, you're trying something new. I hope you stay consistent. That I hope you earn a new skill that will help you in your life. And just keep trying it. I'm sure you'll overcome whatever obstacles you'll face in your journey towards learning something new.
Exactly. Speaking of overcoming all these challenges and doubts, which I see many of you in our YouTube live chat are also mentioning, like avoiding comparisons and competition. Thank you, Mom, for for that comment I see there in our YouTube live chat. We are going to learn something new here too. How to sign the word overcome in this week's sign of the week. So let's learn together.
This is your Hi, Sister Alexis from the CSD, or the Christian Society for the Deaf, and for the sign of the week, we'll be signing Overcome. To do this sign, what you'll do first is take your non-dominant hand and create a fist and bring it downward like this. Next, with your dominant hand, you'll create a thumbs up, and then you'll slightly tilt it towards you or towards your forehead like this. After that, you'll take your dominant hand and then you will bring it over your non-dominant hand like this, as if you're throwing a punch or a jab. And when you're bringing it down, make sure your thumb is going downwards or is aimed downwards like this. And then when you do this sign, make sure it's a fast motion like this. So, to sign Overcome, this is your sign.
I love that one. That's really, really nice. Shout out to the Christian Society for the Deaf team. I always love learning from you guys. It's very nice to hear that stuff. Overcome. I don't know if I'm, yeah, fast. Gotta do it fast. So I hope to see more from you and even future activities for those in the CSD and throughout our district. In the District of Great Lakes, some of the stuff that we have upcoming. I think some of the different locales are still doing their ELAO showings. So anticipate that, as well as for tomorrow, we do have our special gathering for the 51st anniversary of the Kadiwa and Bini organizations, as well as the Christian Society for the Deaf. So hope that all of you can attend that. That'll be tomorrow. For us here, it's 7 Eastern, so 6 Central Time. I always have to split brain for the time zone, split brain for the time zones. But of course, that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing that we have for all of you today. Before we end the show, we do want to get to our hashtag challenge winners from last week. I see the scroll today has been fantastic. So let's see the results. All right.
There we go.
Love this movie. It's so epic. All right, honorable mentions from all over the world. Thank you, everyone, for supporting.
Philippines, Oregon, Virginia, something.
Yes, fourth place is Chesterton, and individual is Aleli Romero.
Hi, Mom.
Familiar last name.
Wait, so-
Bloomingdale.
That's Mom.
Third place is Sterling Heights. What? No way, we're back on the board with Sister Lisette Trinidad from Bloomingdale as the individual.
All right.
And second place is Park Ridge. Wow, good job, Park Ridge. And individuals, Sister Rachel Lynn Weiser, second place. Woo!
Oh!
Number one. Rita Abel. Very nice. Bloomingdale is always representing in some way or form. So shout out to you, Bloomingdale, for always coming in strong, supporting INCRadio Northern Midwest. Super appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you. And everyone who's there tuning in the live chat. I'm sorry we didn't get to read everyone's comments, but I know we do need to close out the show.
Yes, wherever you are watching from, thank you so much for tuning in. And we mention this every week, but we thank you for your support of INCRadio Northern Midwest. Please continue to share this broadcast with everyone who may need a pick-me-up, or just share the broadcast and let them share it with their friends, their loved ones, their acquaintances, their coworkers, anyone they know, because we do hope that this broadcast was beneficial to all of you who are watching. We would like to give our thanks, our shout outs to the district staff here in the District of Great Lakes, Brother Erman Bendicio, our district minister, Brother Art Agag, our assistant district minister, as well as the district minister of Northern Plains, Brother Elmer Parungao. We would also like to greet our Subsi President CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Aranio V. Manalo, as well as our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much for all that you are doing for us to be strengthened in our faith, and also allowing us to use this platform of YouTube to share the activities in the District of Great Lakes. Thank you so much to all of you who tuned in. Please don't forget to hashtag away. I'm kind of delaying it a little bit so that you can fit in all your hashtags as much as you can. But yes, we do have to end our show very soon. But don't forget to be here next week. Also, every Saturday. Again, that is 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Yes, I think that was all that we have. Yeah. I'm making sure to overcome not being sure what to say in the ending. So thank you so much for tuning in. Did I do that right? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you again next week. And please don't forget to stay phenomenal. Yes, I hope that was an awesome reminder. Be phenomenal, stay phenomenal, because you are all phenomenal. All of you are phenomenal. Bye, everyone.
Salvation is drawing near. With true devotion, our religion we must uphold. United in one mission, to abound in faith, love, and hope. All those in God's true nation, we must not be complacent. Make it our full intention to prepare for our salvation. Remain His faithful child inside the church.